Did you make me a co-host so that I could share my screen?
Good morning, second grade at Atalaya. Good morning, third grade at Salazar. Hello, second grade, Cesar Chavez. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. We'll get started in just a minute. Hello, sixth grade on Kearney Elementary. Hi, first grade, Atalaya. Good morning, Miss Ware's fourth grade class at Cesar Chavez. Thank you for being here this morning. We're going to give it one more minute and then I'll start with some introductions. Good morning, Gonzales Community School. Thank you for being here. Hello, fifth grade, Carlos Gilbert Elementary. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here with us this morning for this exciting event. Thank you to the Santa Fe New Mexican for live streaming this program. And a million times thank you to the Friends of the Santa Fe Public Library for making this program possible. In celebration, of course, of El Día de los Niños and El Día de los Libros. Raul the Third is a New York Times best-selling and three-time Pura Belpré award-winning illustrator, author, and artist living in Boston. Vamos, Let's Cross the Bridge was awarded one of the year's best illustrated children's books of 2021 from the New York Times and New York Public Library. He is currently adapting his world of Vamos books into an animated television series with Silvergate Media and Mercury Filmworks. His work centers around the contemporary Mexican-American experience and his memories of growing up in El Paso, Texas, and Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. Welcome our author and illustrator for a presentation on his life, work, his writing and illustration process, and later on we will have time to take questions for the author from students in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Please welcome Raul the Third.
Hello, everyone. Jess, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And just like Jess, I would also like to thank the Santa Fe Public Library for inviting me today, as well as the Santa Fe New Mexican for live streaming this event. Y a todos de ustedes en los salones, hola, ¿cómo están? How are you? I am happy to be here today with you. Yo me llamo, my name is Raul. Can you roll your R's? Raul the Third. Raul el Tercero. I'm just going to get it out of the way because I'm always asked this. Siempre me preguntan, why is your name Raul the Third? I just saw somebody that says, yo me llamo Diego. Hi, Diego. Why is your name Raul the Third? My name is Raul the Third because mi abuelito, my grandpa, his name was, that's right. His name was Raul the First. I'm Raul the Third because my son is, Raul the Fourth. No, it's Esteban. No, just kidding. It's Raul the Fourth. I am Raul the Third because my dad se llama Raul the Second, or as my abuelita used to say down in Isleta, Junio, Junio, lava los trastes. Or she would go, Junio, saca la basura. So that's why, Junio, by the way, is junior. That's why I am Raul the Third. That's right, numero tres. That's what it says right there on the books. You see, Raul the Third. Okay. So you might be wondering, why is Raul the Third talking to us today? Well, let me tell you. The reason why I am here is because I am an author, not an Arthur. I am an author and an illustrator. What does that mean? It means that I write and draw books like Vamos, Let's Go Eat, or the latest Vamos, Let's Cross the Bridge, or a veces, sometimes I only illustrate books. That means that I draw all of the pictures. Like here, I drew Lowriders to the Rescue, which comes out in 4 weeks. Lowriders to the Rescue, written by my friend Kathy Camper. If you're not familiar with this one, I know that my friend Henry is very familiar with Lowriders in Space. So there's Lowriders in Space, written by my friend Kathy. Hold on, I just dropped all my books. So this is what we're gonna do today. I don't have a lot of time. I have like 30 minutes, but in those 30 minutes, I want to tell you a little bit about myself, how I became an author and an illustrator. Then I hope that you have pencil and paper in front of you on your escritorios, your desks right now. Because after I'm done talking about myself, I'm going to show you how to draw one of the characters from my books. Then, if we have time, I am going to read to you from a book that hasn't even come out yet, called El Toro and Friends in Team Up. You ready? ¿Están listos? Okay, here we go. I'm going to share my screen now. This will stop other screen sharing. Do you want to continue? Absolutely. Here we go. Let's see. Where is it? ¿Dónde está? Un momento. I'm a little lost here. Yeah, what is this? Okay. Thumbs up if you see a picture of me in front of a telephone. Who can see that? Jess, is that a thumbs up? Yeah, okay, here we go. So, my friends, here we go. A little autobiography. Right, what you are looking at right now is me when I was only 12 years old. And guess what? At that age, I had already decided that I
Sorry,
wanted.
Raul, we can't see it anymore.
What? Okay,
I don't
hold on.
know.
How about now?
Perfect.
Okay, you can see it?
We see your screen. It's your Microsoft Teams.
Ah, that's not what you want to be looking at. Hold on, let me stop sharing. Bear with me. What do you see now?
We see you being really cool.
Okay, just standing in front of a phone?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so Autobio time, my friends. Let's go back in time and start over. Here I am. I was only 12 years old, and I had already decided that I wanted to become a famous comic book artist. Why? Because I loved, and still love superheroes. Superheroes were my favorite, and I had just discovered what became my favorite art form. And within that art form were pictures, drawings of amazing superheroes. And some of you out there might be able to tell who these heroes were. Yes, you got it. That is the Thing. He's made out of orange rocks. Whenever he was about to go kick butt, he would say, "It's clobbering time." Above him is a drawing of Spider-Man, and you can see that I am wearing a first generation t-shirt of a brand new cartoon that was called and is still called The Simpsons. My mom was so nice to me that week. She decided to let me draw right on the wall in the kitchen. I worked on this enormous drawing for hours on end, and my mom and dad were at peace in the house because I hardly made a sound. Then I finished and they took my picture. One of the reasons why my mom let me create this drawing is because she knew that only 2 weeks later, she would be able to cover it up with brand new wallpaper. Isn't that cool? All right. So next, one of the reasons why I was so confident that I could become an illustrator was thanks to what happened to me about 4 years before this picture was taken. And during that time in my life, I remember it as if it was yesterday. My mom and my 2 brothers and myself, we were living in a small apartment, 1-room apartment. And that day, one day, I was jumping up and down on my cama, my bed. My brother Danny was throwing somersaults on the couch, and my brother Ruben, the youngest of us, he was hanging off of the ceiling fan when suddenly he went flying and he crashed up against the wall. And my mom said, "Ay, ay, ay, ya no sé qué hacer con estos niños." But then she remembered about this new place that had just opened up, and she grabbed me by the hand. I grabbed my brother Danny by the hand. My brother Danny grabbed my brother Ruben by the hand, and she pulled us out the door, and we started to walk. And suddenly we were in front of this building, not too big, but the moment she opened the door, I knew that I was in love because of the smell. The smell in this room was a combination of ink and paper. my mom had taken us to the biblioteca, and the smell was the smell of all of the books within this place. To this day, I love the smell of books. As a matter of fact, when my first book was published, before I even cracked it open, I gave it a good whiff. And my friends, I've got to say that my books smell great. So that day that we walked into the library, hold on a second. Oh, there we go. That day that we walked into the library, yo no hablaba inglés, mi mamá no hablaba inglés, mis dos hermanos, ellos tampoco no hablaban inglés. What does that mean? We didn't speak English. But what was great, the librarians, instead of saying, there are no books for you here, leave. No, they welcomed us with open arms. And for the first time in our lives, living in los Estados Unidos, living in the United States, we felt like we were a part of the community. And they started inviting us to do all sorts of things, art activities. My mom took English classes. She studied on how to become a citizen at the library. And for me and my two brothers, they started introducing us to simple books at first, like A is for apple, that's right. B is for banana, you get it. And little by little, my reading comprehension grew, and I started reading books like the ones you see on this list right here, like The Great Brain at the Academy, A Piece of Steak. Hey, I grew up in Texas. Well, what can I say? The Never-Ending Story, on and on. And then one day, una bibliotecaria, a librarian, asked me, Raul, what was your favorite part of the story you just read? And I couldn't answer her because I was shy. So then she asked me another question, and it was, Raul, if you can't tell me, why don't you instead draw for me your favorite part of the book you just read? That was a question that blew my mind, because what happens in your head when you read a book? You start to imagine things, right? Right. And so I closed my eyes and I imagined what my favorite part was. And I started to create drawings just like these two right here. Can you believe my mom saved these pictures? Isn't that nice? So from that point on, I started creating dibujos, drawings from every single book that I would read. And to keep me motivated, las bibliotecarias, the librarians, they would give me certificates just like this one here, or like that one there. And so from that point on, I knew that drawing would become the thing that I could focus on and get better at. And even more so, later, I discovered an art museum. And this art museum became a place that I would also go to learn about art. My favorite art museum when I was a kid was called the 7-Eleven. The 7-Eleven was where I went to learn about my new favorite art form. And that was comic books. And I would search through all of these comic books and learn about different approaches to how to draw things. And I would use pens that I would find on the streets. Pens, no, I lost the thread of my talk. Pens like Bic ballpoint pens, pens with business names like Lupe's Tamales or Chico's Tacos. And my friends, I started creating my very own characters. I'm going to stop sharing real quick. Characters that you might be familiar with because of my books. Books like Vamos, Let's Cross the Bridge, or Vamos, Let's Go Eat. I created wrestlers that you've probably read about in books like El Toro and Friends in Tag Team, or El Toro and Friends in Training Day. And I started to keep for myself sketchbooks. I would draw on sheets of paper that I would staple together. Now as an adult, I just buy sketchbooks. But back then I would just grab sheets of paper draw on them and staple them together. But now I just collect all of my ideas in sketchbooks, just like this one. And I start by just drawing whatever silly idea might pop into my head. So now I would love to share with you how I draw one of my famous characters. Would you like me to share that with you? Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes. Grab your sheet of paper, grab your pencil, and let's get to work. It's Venom. Somebody just said it's Venom. Okay. All right, here we go. Thumbs up if you see a blank sheet of paper on your screen right now. Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to teach you how to draw a character from the Vamos Let's Go books. Now, this character is pretty special because it was one of the first characters that I ever created. I created this character when I was a young boy. And now, as an adult, I hide this character in every single World of Vamos book, in one page, in one tiny detail. So I'm going to teach you how to draw this character. Then it's your job to check out one of the Vamos books to see if you can find him hidden within the pages. You got it? Okay, here we go. So when I start this character, let me change the color of my pen here. Darker color. Okay. When I start this character, I like to start with like a teardrop. Who here can draw a teardrop in the air? Okay, good. So the next thing is you got to take this teardrop and learn how to draw it upside down. That's the first step, is drawing this character, this teardrop upside down. Look at that. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just like a shape, an upside down shape, a teardrop. There we go. Next, well, this character lives in a pot. So I'm going to draw the lip of the pot first, just like this. Yeah, I'm going to draw like a long rectangle. How are yours coming out? Have you drawn the teardrop? Give you a second to catch up. Did you draw the long rectangle? Okay, good. I'm just going to go in there and darken this spot a little bit. There we go. Next, I'm going to draw almost like a square right in there. Okay. Did you get that? Good. So the next step is I'm going to draw this character's eyes. As a matter of fact, this character only has one eye that you can see. So I'm going to draw one eye here and then the base. So when I draw eyes, I almost draw them like they're frowns, and then I cap it off with a horizontal line. Unfortunately, this character is always a little grumpy. So I'm going to draw a little line here and then a frown right here like that. Why is this character grumpy? Well, when somebody was picking him up, they dropped him, which led to this crack forming right on the pot. You see that? It's like a lightning bolt, right? There we go. Then I'm going to go in and draw his pupil. So here's his pupil. I like to leave a little light showing. So I leave a little white area in there. He's got a big red nose like this. And from the tip of his nose, he's actually got a flower sprouting out of it. Look at that. Little white flower sprouting out of the tip of his nose. Now, this next part is one of my favorite parts to draw. This character has not only got the coolest hair in the world, but quite possibly also the most dangerous hair you've ever seen on anybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one little 6th one right in there. I'm going to darken that up. And now I'm going to draw a couple of lines right here because he's got a four little bigote hairs. And my friends, you have now learned how to draw the punk nopal. And now it is your job to check out the Vamos books from your library to see if you could find the punk nopal hidden within the pages. Some kids find him right away. Others, well, those others, they might still be looking to him to this very day. So buena suerte. Okay. So next, my friends, I have about 5 or how long do I have? About 7 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, 7-10 minutes.
Okay. I would love to read to you now from my latest book, which comes out in September. I think you're going to love this book. This is a preview for all of you out there in Santa Fe. You ready? While I'm reading it, you might even want to look for the punk nopal. Who knows? You might spot him. Okay, here we go. Who here sees a word that says team up? Thank you, Joaquin. Okay, Team Up by Raul the Third with colors by Elaine Bay. El Toro and friends are a team. Un equipo fabuloso. But a long time ago, when they were niños, they met for the first time. Get back here! Ven para acá! The chicken is mine! Look at them, they're running down the street, and El Toro has a chicken in his hand. That chicken looks happy. They all went to Ricky Raton's school of lucha to learn how to wrestle. Give that back! Dámelo! Ooh, look at that dust cloud. Woo! And the chicken. It's mine. Es mío. Now suddenly the chicken is screaming out, Atención! If you look behind him, his loud atención startled that bird and it laid an egg. Oh my. Oh my. Okay. Ricky Raton is the school teacher. Ricky Raton es el maestro de la escuela. Let us begin. Yes, teacher. When he was young, he was the best. The big cheese, Ricky Raton. He looks cool. I loved his striped trunks. He learned how to wrestle from the best lucha masters. Dr. Feo. Yo soy Dr. Feo. He made a promise to share his newfound skills. I will teach the world. I'm going to be a teacher. Yo voy a ser un maestro. Ricky Raton taught his students many skills. Strength training, acrobatics, discipline, patience. El Toro and his friends also learned their very own special move. Show me what you have. Lizarda could whip her sticky tongue. Thwap. Hey, Jackie Lopez, the jackalope, could run circles around anybody. I think Lizarda should let go. What do you think? Croak could bounce like a super ball. Armadillo's suit was filled with surprises, just like a ball. Eres como una pelota, Croak. Nice catch. This page wasn't done yet. Just imagine it in color. But wouldn't it be a cool coloring page? La Oinkoink's over-the-top kicks never miss their target. And last but not least, El Toro had his supercharge. Anybody see anything special about this page? Huh? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. They were almost ready. I am very proud of you. Estoy muy orgulloso. Maestro Raton has a big surprise for his class. Una sorpresa grande. To pass your final test, you have to defeat me in battle. ¿Qué? What? How much time? Let's see. Lizarda is the first to attack. Flip, flip. Looks like you're all tied up. Then Jackie Lopez tries to catch Ricky. You have run yourself dizzy. Ricky Raton takes a swing at Croak and wham! Home run. Oh, that was a bad move, Croak. Croak knocks Armadillo out of the sky. Oof. Gzz. La Oink Oink uses her sneak kick, but her teacher is too fast. Missed me. El Toro charges. You can't hit what you can't see. Crash. El Toro and his friends have failed. You are too small to defeat me. I don't know what El Toro's supposed to say there. We'll have to figure that out later. I guess he says, oh, we should maybe have to. That's it. We have to work together. Team up? Huh? Look at that chicken. He looks scared. He's hiding behind Ricky Raton's leg. Come on, guys. You can do it. The team surround Ricky. I'll tie him up. I'll make him dizzy. Jack spins Ricky like a top. The speed of their attack surprises Ricky Raton. I'll throw him a fastball he can't miss. Oof! Perfect pass. Bzz. La Oink Oink trips Ricky Raton. Watch your step. Just in time for El Toro's sneak attack. It's Toro time. Ricky Raton surrenders the match. Bonk. By working together, you pass the test. You are an amazing team. Hip, hip, hooray. Look at them. They're so happy. And they have been a team ever since. Un equipo maravilloso. Mis favoritos estudiantes. Did you say they were your favorite students? So my friend, that was the book. I hope you enjoyed it. And now I hope you have some preguntas for me, some questions for me.
Thank you, Raul. That was awesome.
A lot of energía there.
We have a couple students here ready to ask you questions.
Ooh, here we go. Let me just sip on my 0-calorie cola. Yes, how are you?
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Mike?
Hi, Mike.
Good.
What's your question?
What's your question?
Are you gonna do more than just comic books?
Well, I'm working on toys and we're working on a television series. Yeah, so there's going to be a Vamos television series featuring Little Lobo, El Toro and his friends, everybody. So thank you for the question, Mike.
Thank you.
Hi, what's your name?
Raylan?
Hi, good to meet you, Malin. What's your question?
What's your question?
Was it hard becoming an author?
It took a long time, but I enjoyed every step of the way because I really love drawing and I really like writing. And so I just sit down and I have a good time. So it was hard. It took a lot of time and a lot of dedication, but I loved it.
No more
I get to listen to music when I draw. Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Good to meet you. What's your name?
Brittany.
Good to meet you, Brittany. What's your question?
My question is, so are you gonna make your own superhero and write about him?
Well, yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do when I work on training day and when I write and draw the El Toro and Friends books. These are my own superheroes. Or they're luchadores, but I always think luchadores are superheroes, right?
Thank you. Any other questions?
Oh, I see a question, an online question from Mrs. Sanchez. How many books have you written? Well, I am currently working on the 10th World of Vamos book. So that's 10 books that I've written and illustrated by myself. And then I've worked on many other books, about 17 books at this point. My first book, how old is my first book? It's this one, and it came out in 2014. 8 years, so 8 years old. Another question from Joaquin, do I get a writer's block? Not really.
We have a student here who's not going to be on the camera, but he wants to ask a question.
Oh, absolutely. What's your question, my friend?
What's your favorite store in the market?
What's my favorite what?
In the market from Let's Go to the Market.
Oh, what's my favorite store from Let's Go to the Market? Huh. Let's see. I really like hats. So I like sombrero stacks. And I also like this one right here, because it's based on my tia's puesto at the mercado. I love Yerberia Azteca because of all of the cool things that my tia Ana sells at this place. Especially these velas. I sometimes like the green one, hoping that I'll make a little extra dinero. Awkward silence.
Emma from Gonzales asks, how do you decide the colors of the super suit?
The super what?
Suits.
Oh, well, you know what? One great thing about that is I draw all of these characters and then I collaborate with my wife, Elaine Bay, and she decides what colors to make the superheroes. So Elaine Bay is an amazing colorist, and she does all of the colors for these amazing books. We'd have to ask her.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I especially like the way she colored La Oink Oink.
We have another student who won't be on camera, but wants to ask a question.
Okay.
How much money have you made so far with the books?
How much money have I made? Huh. I can't tell you exactly how much money I've made, but I feel very, very fortunate to have such an amazing job that provides for myself and for my family.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Ron asks, what inspired you to make your books?
Well, I grew up in El Paso, Texas, and Juarez. And when I was a kid, I really loved, and I still do, love both cities. And I knew that those cities are filled with endless stories. And I love all of the people who live there, my family on both sides of the border, la familia de mi mamá, la familia de mi papá. And I just wanted to make a universe of cartoon characters that live right on the frontera, because it could introduce people all around the world to the wonderful cultures that exist right there on the border.
We have another student question.
Is drawing hard for you?
It used to be. It used to be really hard for me, and I would get really frustrated because I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I kept trying and trying. Now it's not hard, but it does still take a long time. Like, for instance, the other day I was drawing this drawing right here. And guess what? It took me about 15 hours to get this drawing completed. So not hard, but it does take a long time.
Another question by a student.
What's your favorite book?
That I've ever read, or that I worked on myself?
Read.
Well, right now, my son and I are both reading a series of books by an amazing writer named Daniel Pinkwater. And the book that we are on is The Snark Out Boys and the Avocado of Doom. And it is such a great book, hilarious, filled with amazing characters. And I can't recommend Daniel Pinkwater highly enough, because he is such a cool author. And the other day, my friend Sean Harris sent me his latest book, The First Cat in Space Ate Pizza. And I have read about 30 pages of it, and it is beautiful and hilarious and filled with amazing drawings. Here, let me show you. See that? What is going on? So check this book out. It comes out, I think it might already be out. It came out this week, I believe.
Here's another question.
What are some of your favorite cartoons?
Ooh, my favorite cartoons. Well, you know, lately I've been enjoying Kid Cosmic, which I saw on Netflix. That was a great cartoon. I also like Molly McGee. I think the Ghost and Molly McGee. That was really funny. And my good friend Ashley Soto, also from El Paso, She's working as a writer on the Proud Family on Disney, and that has been a pleasure to watch. And I'm also looking forward. I might take my son out on Saturday to go watch The Bad Guys on at the movie theater. But I love cartoons. My wife is obsessed with Japanese cartoons, and she's been watching a cartoon called JoJo.
A question from Ms. Sanchez's class. Have you read Harry Potter?
I've read like the first 3. Yes, they were good.
A young artist asked,
Go ahead.
what advice do you have for someone who wants to make their own comic?
Well, just start drawing. You know, I drew the first lowrider book, the first 3 lowrider books using just ballpoint pens. You might have been able to tell that I only used red, black, and some blue to draw every single book. So you already have the materials on your desk to start drawing. And I've been making comic books for as far back as I can remember. And when I was in my early 20s, I would just make my own comic books and make copies of them using the copy machine at Kinko's or the FedEx store. So you can just start making them now. And then I would take these books that I would make by myself and just hand them out to friends. And one of these books ended up in the hands of Kathy Camper, who then invited me to help her with this book. So just start drawing. And also read as many graphic novels as you possibly can and copy drawings from them, because all of the copying that you do will teach you how to draw, will teach you different approaches to drawing. And then when you start making your own original creations, you will become a combination of all of the wonderful people that you learned how to draw and write from.
One last question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still visit your public library?
I sure do. I sure do. I go all the time. I go to the Cambridge Public Library. I go to the Somerville Public Library. I go to the Medford Public Library. And I'm very fortunate in my job that I get to visit libraries all around the country. The last one that I was in Midland in person. And now here I am with you at the Santa Fe Public Library, virtually.
Thank you so much, Raul.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for joining us this morning.
Yes, I wish I could.
Thanks to the friends of the library.
Bye.
Bye, Raul. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.